Republican Senator Ted Cruz has gone woke. It's true. And there has been some serious backlash to Ted Cruz's wokeness. So I'm going to show you this. And of course, he hasn't really gone woke. This is more just acknowledging, I guess, the obvious. But I do have some questions around why he would share this. And I have less questions around the reaction to it because the reaction was completely a given considering what the right-wing base is. But this is what this whole story stems from here. So the New York Times tweeted this out saying the president of Uganda signed a punitive anti-gay bill on Monday that includes the death penalty, enshrining into law an intensifying crackdown against LGBTQ people in the East African nation. It is one of the world's most restrictive anti-gay measures. Ted Cruz responded, believe it or not, saying this: the Uganda law is horrific and wrong. Any law criminalizing homosexuality or imposing the death penalty for aggravated homosexuality is grotesque and an abomination. All civilized nations should join together in condemning this human rights abuse. So, I'm going to play the intentions game here. We have no idea why Ted Cruz decided to weigh in on this randomly. Maybe since then he's come out to discuss why. I'm sure he wants to kind of not discuss this anymore since the backlash he got that I'll show you in a second here. But my one suspicion is that I believe one of his daughters came out as bi or lesbian, and that may be him here trying to win some daddy points by making a comment like this. So that's one part of it. The other part is this, ongoing thing that the right does where they look at other countries and they're like, oh, look at your human rights abuses. You're terrible. And of course, it's often nations that are, when they are focusing their criticism, it's nations that aren't white. There are a lot of white nations that do horrible things, including America. Terrible human rights abuses. But they don't focus on those. They focus on the other, of course, as a way to help fearmonger and generate anger. And that could also be part of the motivation here as well. That said, it is just bizarre for Ted Cruz to come out and be pro-human rights for LGBTQ people anywhere in the country or anywhere in the world. But the reaction was swift. So Dylan Burns has some screenshots here. I can scroll down too and see some of the reactions. But he tweeted some out. So tweeting out saying Ted Cruz saying gays should not be executed and arrested for being gay seems to be too woke for part of his base. So that was the initial tweet. Here's a reply saying woke Ted Cruz from Philip Oliver Hull's alpha male. Okay, you gotta question how many of these accounts are even real people. Who would call themselves alpha male? Like, that is a serious, but like, what serious person would put alpha male in brackets beside their name? Come on. Scott Henderson here says globalist Canadian masquerading as a fake cowboy says what? I bet you utilize the woke terms of minor attracted people and younger attracted persons behind closed doors. Natural Law here says Ted Cruz is okay. Can I even say this on? That's just blatantly homophobic. That's disgusting and anti-life. Would you hate life, Ted? Or sorry, why do you hate life, Ted? Gay is not okay. Jake here says, I think you've been hacked. Let's just scroll down. I haven't scrolled down, but I'm curious. What are some of the reactions? And of course, Twitter, because it's Twitter, have generally prioritized blue check marks at top. Oh, look at this. The first one isn't. That's stunning. Beth, who is a great tweeter, tweets out, hi, Ted. How do you think Uganda became emboldened to pass such a law? Could anything that's been happening in the U.S., such as in Texas and Florida, have set the tenor for the law Uganda passed? That's true. So I didn't explore this or prep anything for this story, but I believe, from what I remember around this new law, there are American ties to it. So American anti-gay groups have helped to push their anti-gay agenda all across the world And I believe Uganda is a part of that as well. So it's very likely, actually, that this entire new set of laws in Uganda is because of the influence from American-based anti-gay groups. But okay, so there's some positive reactions here. Rare Ted Cruz W. On this, we can agree. Some of the comments are wild. See, so everyone that agrees with him here don't appear to be actually Republican voters. Going again to why did he do this? But it's just to see any opposition to the idea that, I don't know, maybe people should not be executed for loving who they love. It shows you the sad state of at least some of the conservative base. But I would be curious to see, people on the street have a reporter go out and ask just random voters at a Trump rally, for example, or a DeSantis rally. Ask them their thoughts on Uganda's new law. I'm just curious what their initial reaction would be to that, because they have to wrestle with two things. Are they that despicable of an individual to support something that grotesque? Combined with, or I should say, does their bigotry, is their bigotry more important than any shred of humanity they may have within them? I don't know. At this point, it's very hard to sort of predict how far the right can go with some of these issues. And I think this is another example of that.